Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh to some of you, and peace out to the rest of you. Hit the share button because the message is more important than the messenger. When I say Vivica Fox and her kin, I don't mean her blood kin, but her psychological kin. Those who think like her. Those who view Mr. Samuel's death in the same vein in which she views it. As some sort of scenario in which you can celebrate, and you can even try to gloss over the fact that you're celebrating his death by saying, rest in peace. But you're really just low-key, or not even low-key, glad that he's gone. Because he told sisters what they needed to hear. She said that it was karma, and karma may not be so kind when it comes, and it's going to come. Well, Vivica, karma's going to come for you. And ain't nothing I can do to stop that, or you, or anyone else. Death is going to come, but them two ain't always the same. Karma, as non-Muslims would define it, because we don't need to use that type of word itself, but karma as non-Muslims would define it, does not always mean death anyway. It actually means something in the life of this world. So if it is not death because of a death that you've caused, and it is some sort of punishment you don't want to go through while you're alive, like poverty, starvation, homelessness, cancellation, social isolation. These are the things they're normally referring to. You suffering and the people you hurt being able to see you now hurt. That's what it means. When it comes down to karma, look, Mr. Samuels doesn't have a replacement. He was telling ladies what they needed to know, and they were benefiting if they listened. Now, there were times he needed to let them finish. Not to agree with him, but to make sure he agreed or disagreed, because they might have agreed with him, but they didn't get a chance to explain, oh yeah, I actually understand it. Nope, you can't overtalk me. There were times he would have said that when they just needed to finish a sentence. Oh, you can overtalk them, but they can't overtalk you. Well, you know what? In the end, it is his channel, and they called in. Now, Attorney Sperling's like that too. And to be honest with you, if I had to constantly have people on my channel, I'd probably say the same thing. Depends on what kind of sense they're making. That's part of why I try to be careful about who I even bring up on live streams. Not so much about whether or not they agree, but more so about what is the logic and how do they explain it. You come on my show saying, use those fillers a lot. I can't afford to have you on. I just can't afford that. I'm not that slow. I can't afford to be that inarticulate. You got to be able to make your point. Otherwise, I can't help my audience. So you got to be able to help me help my audience. I get it. But Mr. Samuels was willing to tell black women what to do to not drive away not only black men, but more specifically, the black men they wanted. Sisters, as a collective, either by being the loudest group or by being the majority, pretty much said, no, you don't correct us at all. We'll do what we want. You give and we take. That is the only give and take that there's going to be. Sisters, for the most part, show the same attitude that Bossy Empress TV will openly tell you she has. And I do appreciate her honesty in that regard. Never going to agree, but she's not lying about it. She's like, no, we take, you give. That's it. Yeah, you owe, we never owe. You are required to provide and protect, and we're required to deny you and withhold. Whatever do you want from us, we're to withhold that. Absolutely. She'll say this. A lot of sisters in the States, Canada, the UK, Jamaica, the nations I've mentioned before, even Johannesburg in South Africa, and Lagos in Nigeria. And I've heard that increasingly Accra in Ghana will, in fact, show this attitude without saying it outright. No, you give, we take. Mr. Samuels came along and said, no, you will give and take, and the man will give and take. The men have a value. If you are intrinsically valuable, so is he. If he's not, then you're not either. Now, which one's he gonna be? Now he's gone. You don't get it, Miss Fox and your kin, Miss Jordan. Claudia Jordan, you need to understand that Kevin already talked about both sides. He talked to the men for longer than he talked to the women, and talked down to men. And did so to men because they didn't clairvoyantly know that women and TV were lying to us about what women wanted. He still had the gall to talk down to us like it's our fault we didn't know this. Like, how could you not know that they're lying to you? He was wrong for that. And look at you now. Well, he needed to talk about both sides. He already did it. He passed away before he could catch up and put in the same length of time schooling your butts that he put in fussing at us for not knowing stuff about which we were lied to. Sister Fox, you couldn't stay 2 years in a marriage in which you had to pay for stuff. Don't talk to us about being empowered. You ain't willing to pay the cost to be the boss. You were not willing, and you don't have to be. You chose to leave, and that's fine, but you need to shuck up about whenever men want y'all to be traditional. Close your mouth. Ain't no karma for Mr. Samuels. The karma was for you, ma'am. You lost. That's what I wanted to tell you. Thanks for listening. Black Card, Black Mind, Blackout, Assalamu Alaikum, and Black Heterosexual, non-select male power, cause y'all don't like it. And Black Patriarchy, Sister Fox, till extinction or Judgment Day.